This is Silver Glen Springs in the Ocala National Forest in Florida. 200-foot diameter spring, first magnitude, 72 degrees year-round. And the boils are in this direction. We will take a look at those later. Famous for the striped bass that gather around the spring. We'll take a look at some of the Indian middens around the edges. And so come on and come join me in the spring. And the beauty of the spring from the outside looking in. Let's take a look at that Spanish moss. One of the most beautiful springs in Florida. One of the clearest waters. And right here, we are looking at the spring boil. Zoom in a little bit. You can see the water bubbling up there, about 20 or so feet down. And some more of the live oaks and the Spanish moss, giving it the Silver Glen Spring this unique deep south look. And this is a view of the second vent, which is closed off to swimming. The larger vent is there in the distance, and you can see the big swim area and the boats in the background, the houseboats. And right here I will zoom in for a closer view. And so that is the area of the second vent that feeds the Silver Glen Spring, and into the distance the Silver Glen run, which 3,300 foot down to Lake George. Another live oak. And the view from the second spring head. We'll walk around this side of the spring, past this palmetto. See the brilliant green colors. The darker green would be where the algae is mixed in a little bit more on the bottom of the pool area. And this is looking back to the main area of the spring where the largest spring head is. So let's go take a look at the spring. Let's go take a swim in it. Beautiful scenery. A lot of the spring is only about 3 or 4, 5 feet deep. However, when you get to the vent, the spring boil, it gets down to about 20 feet. The immediate area around is at least 8 to 10 feet. The vent itself, where all the striped bass are, is about, say, 20 feet diameter. A little bit of an oblong shape. Very beautiful, clear waters. See right down in the bottom very easily. So we're going to take a look at some Indian middens along the shore, and then we're going to take a look at the close-ups of the boil and the striped bass. This is the shallower area, just as where the spring meets the river. And now we're going to take a look at the shell midden. This was constructed by the Timucuan Indians, possibly the Mayaca Indians, back around 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago. They piled these snail shells onto the banks of Silver Glen Spring. And the walls of the spring are eroding, which gives us a view inside a cross-section of this midden. And you can see it's very highly concentrated with snail shells. This is a good sample right here. Another good example right here. And this particular section is a tree that grew on top of the midden, and its roots have embedded itself into the midden. The shells themselves have actually eroded off of the midden and into the pool of the spring, and we can take a look at some of those shells right here. beside Silver Glen Springs is the Spring Boils Trail. And this is a mile in and out trail. And we are going to take a look. Lots of palmetto, soft palmetto to open up the trail. What we're looking for are the boils. There's tiny boils that bubble up. And we should see a few of those. Across this bridge. And I believe the boils lay right beyond this next bridge. Or some passerbys have informed me. And I do indeed see some spring runoff. But no boils as of yet. And we have arrived at the boils, tiny boils. I could see a series of several of them here. Let me get close up. You can certainly see the water percolating up through the sand. And some really tiny ones right there. Larger one there. I mean, these are very small. I would say 2-foot diameter. That one seems to be a little more active. A couple smaller ones, and then here's another bigger one. In fact, a pair of them. So pretty impressive. And beyond, if you could see right beyond the fallen tree, there are 2 boils. So very beautiful. And another section along the trail. Sign says no diving, but the water is really only about 3 inches deep, so I don't think it would be very conducive for a swim. So here's a another boil, which has several small boils all in one. And if you look, you can see there's several. I mean, it looks like about 10 of them, tiny ones. And over here is another one, and there are some fish in these waters as well. And this little boil here, in relationship to the other boils, is just about 30 feet down this run. That's where I was viewing the other boils just moments ago.